Hello everyone and welcome to Apex Racing TV. Yeah, you join us here at Virginia International Raceway. Yeah, Virginia International Raceway tonight in the BSR MX5 Monday Cup. My name's Ryan Walker and alongside me is Marco Babanera. And yeah, Marco, good to be at an iconic track tonight.
Absolutely, we are live. Hello, everyone. Hello, Ryan from historic Virginia International Raceway, and we are running tonight, as you can see, on the northern layout. This track, of course, a shorter version of the one that plays host to IMSA competition each and every year for several years in a row now. And not the most popular track in iRacing, I have to say, but still, seeing 16 drivers signed up for this one, so I was a bit concerned, but the drivers have responded very nicely. And with just a few rounds left in the championship, every point matters. You cannot afford to drop any more rounds. Speaking of which, your championship standings, James Eagleston leads the way with 2,394 points, followed by Andy Maxwell with 2,320. David Ayers is in third with 2,295. Carl Hardy 2,110, and top 5 rounded up by Dale Benison 2,059. I would say that Eagleston, Maxwell, and Ayers are the three guys that can realistically fight for the title. Hardy maybe and Benison with an outside chance. The Pro Championship already wrapped up by Dan Blake, so all that's left is to fight out for the rest of the podium spots in the overall Pro Championship, with Perry and Stevens very close to each other. And the team points, of course, with Result Clothing leading the way with 9,926 points, Year 1 Racing 8,524, and Fury Simsport 7,368. These are the basically the three teams that have taken part regularly with AM drivers throughout the season. We've had some pro drivers, Ryan show up overall several rounds, but I think none of the AM drivers have been of teams other than these three or privateers, and the same goes tonight because we have, for example, Max Wright of Automech Knockhill among the pro drivers, and yeah, a couple of privateers, but the usual big three teams that are fighting it out for each and every race week. Even though we have seen some privateers grab a victory here and there, which is always nice to see.
Yeah, absolutely. This season so far it's been kind of I wouldn't say dominance, but it's been the usual drivers up at the front from the free teams this season. I think most of the time it's been drivers from Fury Sunsport, Year One Racing, and from time to time uh, Year One Racing. I mean, Result Clothing. So, but most of the time when it comes to dominance, it's been Year One Racing or the Fury Sunsport. And at the moment, I think this, as you say, Marco, with several rounds left of the season, I think it could be a driver from Fury Sunsport or Year One Racer. It could be taking the championship as it stands, but we've still got several rounds left, so it's plenty left to play for. You could say.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we know with the 97 points, oh man, I have to check before I say anything stupid because Tom Blake has been kind enough to give us the, yeah, here we go, 100 points, sorry, on offer for each race win. 97 going to P2, 95 to P3, 94 to P4, 93 to P5, and then going decreasing by 1 point throughout the order. This basically ensures that no matter how many drivers we have signed up for the race, the point system will be balanced and reward each and every driver for their finishing position. We also have, don't forget, bonus points on the table, which is 1 point for the fastest lap of the race. And I wanted to add something else. Yes, that you have to be either on the lead lap or at the most one lap down to be eligible for point for points at the end of the race, and that also is where you need to be if you want to be eligible for the reverse grid, which we will have in race 2 and race 3. Race 1 will be determined by qualifying, and as you can see, the proceedings, Ryan, are almost over. James Eaglestone is your provisional pole sitter, and he has just improved this time with a 35.9, which should make him, in a comfortable position. Yes, because Ben Sharp doesn't improve himself, his teammate. He will start from second. P3, Alex Rivette is not going for a lap, so he will have to settle with his current position, or maybe be moved back by other drivers. Let's see if Carl Hardy is... No, he's not on a fast lap, but Maxwell is. Here comes Andy Maxwell. Only a good final sector. Will it be enough? It won't. 37.0. So he will stay in P5 unless Scott Malcolm can push him off. He can't. P6. What are we waiting for? Dale Bennison for Year 1 Racing. P11 doesn't improve. Carl Hardy was on a fast lap, doesn't improve. Russell Davies, I think the final guy we're waiting for. P9 for him, and P9 it is 39.4, and that will be that for qualifying, Ryan. Like we said earlier, a tough racetrack. People don't know it very well, even the hardcore racers, and we're also racing in a shorter version, so no, I wouldn't say shorter. Let's say that there are different layouts that are maybe also independent, we can say, from one another. So it's not really a shorter version of the track. It's another variant of this racetrack.
Yeah, absolutely. With the Virginia International Raceway, it's one of those tracks. It's probably, I would say, one of the tightest tracks, or the tightest tracks when it comes to racing, especially with these MX5s. So especially through that twisty section, I think it's going to require a lot of cooperation between the drivers, and just for everyone to give each other a bit of respect.
I think we are getting ready to go. The starting grid should be on your screen right now.
Absolutely. So taking pole position is James Eaglestone for Fury Simsport. Second place is Ben Sharp. Third place is Alex Rivette. Fourth place is Carl Hardy. Fifth place is Andy Maxwell. Sixth place is Scott Malcolm. Charles Kellman in seventh. Eighth is Graham Sessford. Ninth place is Russell Davis. Anthony Ainsworth in 10th. Dale Bennison in 11th. Steve Hansford in 12th. 13th, Ralph Cullinan. 14th, Mick Barry. And then the two pro drivers starting in the pits is Dan Blake and Max Wright.
Yes, very nice. Thank you very much, Ryan. We are just waiting for the clock to hit the 2-minute mark. Maybe, because we have to wait for everyone to grid, and of course the two pro drivers will not grid as per the rules. There's been some talking about this earlier in the week after the Okayama round. But yeah, just waiting. A track that also doesn't give you many reference points, being that, as you can see right now, it's mostly grass around the racetrack. I think we are almost ready to go. Yes, here come the lights.
Yep, absolutely. As we're just waiting for the lights to go out, and we should be underway with the first race of the evening. And away they go. James Eaglestone gets a great start off the line. So does teammate Ben Sharp, who tucks in behind. Alex Rivette is behind them in third place as a head up into turn one, and it'll be interesting to see if everyone gets through here without any issues or without any major incidents. It looks like everyone's giving each other plenty of space. So yeah, everyone makes it through turn one in one piece, Marco.
Yes, as we see the snake of cars quickly elongating through the twisty sections of this VIR racetrack. Already everyone slotting into single file, and you told us, Ryan, just at the beginning of the broadcast, at the top of the broadcast, how narrow this track is, and how really tricky it will be for these drivers to maybe find some passing opportunities, even though it is very, very easy to make a mistake because there's so much grass, and if you put two wheels there, it's basically almost game over, or well, not game over because you won't hit anything, but you will go for a nice ride into the nice grass around the racetrack.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially this twisted section that they're coming through now. It requires excuse me, it requires everyone to kind of just race with, just think with their brain and kind of just in this section as well. It just requires you to be sensible, and especially this tight, twisty section that we're coming through now, through the final few corners.
Oh, Ben
Is Ben
Sharp!
Oh,
Alex
did he
Rivet
just...
takes evasive action. He stays out, so I think his car is okay. But that was something that Ben Sharp didn't need to do, especially because now he leaves his teammate James Eagleson in the clutches of the two Year 1 racing drivers, Rivet and Maxwell, and that was very strange. Let's see from his onboard.
Yeah, so just looking at Ben Sharp's onboard, I wonder if he took too much inside curb and it just unsettled the car.
You are right. Wow.
Yeah, it just looked like when he took the inside curb, he tried to get on the power while the car was still kind of in the air, kind of bouncing around, you could say, and it just around the car went into the wall, and just unfortunately Ben Sharp, after that good start, he's lost a few positions. As contact.
Yeah, Scott Malcolm being turned by one of the Fury Sim Sport cars. I didn't catch the number, as Rivet is having some issues, as now he's dropped to P8. And I think he had some kind of hardware issue, because he disappeared, then reappeared, and lost several positions.
Yeah, he had a decent start and he was close to the front. Yeah, back there, James Eaglestone, he's managed to pull away, having their own issues, and yeah, he's managed to build up a gap to Andy Maxwell from Year 1 Racing, around about 3 points.
So 136.6 for Eaglestone, and he is trying to run away, as in the back we see Maxwell and Hardy, as Kellyman, look at this battle pack here between Kellyman, Sharp, Cullinan, and all of these guys, as Ainsworth, Anthony Ainsworth. Lucky for him, there's a big runoff area there, and back onto the racing surface, but that was something that he didn't need to do, as we move back to the front of this pack. Let's put the battle box on. Yes, so Ben Sharp is the leader of this. Ooh! Oh man, he cuts the corner there. That's going to be a slowdown. Oh, 3 wide! Oh no! Kellyman is around. Oh, that is terrible. Oh, the big one at VIR.
I don't know. I was about to say something, Marco, but I had to kind of had to hold myself back because that'll probably come across. I was about to say
again.
The S word has hit the storm, hit the fan.
Yeah, and they are still. I mean, they all made it back to the racetrack despite being cars all over the place, and now they are eating each other like there's no tomorrow. It's absolutely crazy what's going on here, and unbelievably seems like they sorted themselves out. I have no idea how, after crashing all together there at that particular point. So big deep breath, let's move up to the front, because Maxwell and Hardy are toe to toe for second place, and it seems like Hardy might have a run, even though it's not easy to have a good run around here, but still he's trying to get the best run possible, and maybe, just maybe, he could get passing spot, maybe putting some pressure on Maxwell.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it looked like Hardy was trying to take a look up the inside of Maxwell, but yeah, Maxwell defended the line into turn 1 and is right on board with Cal Hardy in third place, just behind Andy Maxwell in second. It's James Eaglestone is just galloping away at the moment, while everyone has their issues, and yeah, he's built up a comfortable lead at the moment, and unless Eaglestone makes a mistake, I think this first race of the evening could be his race to lose, or his race to win.
Look at the cars. Left, right. Oh, never a dull moment in this racetrack. Yeah, Maxwell a bit wide there. Hardy might have a better run here. as they are coming towards the final section of the lap. As a matter of fact, I think they are very close to the start-finish straight. There it is. Very, very old school pit box there. I mean, pit lane and pit structure. You know, if we can call that a pit structure, because it's very, very old and traditional looking, as they are side by side into the first corner.
Absolutely, as Hardy's on the outside, but he tries to get the cut back on turn one. But yeah, again, Maxwell manages to defend that position well and manages to hold on to still manages to hold on to second position. But yeah, just looking at the field there, Marco, it looks like after those that incident a few laps ago, it looks like the field's sort of spread out. But looking at this battle between some of a couple of the year one racing cars and result clothing cars, it's yeah, still some battling going on through the field. It looks like it looks like Scott Malcolm's managed to gain a position from Dale Benison.
Yes, it's Malcolm there, you can see leading this pack. Then it's Dale Benison, Mick Barry and Alex Rivette. Mick Barry driving for Result Clothing, even though he's sporting this, I think, Air Force tribute livery. And Alex Rivette is there, dropping down to P14, so definitely having some issues with his PC or his connection, because he was there in third place and now he's down to P14, and he disappeared for a bit, reappeared way down the order, now trying to make its way back. Ben Sharp is down in P15 right now, and I think he went into the pit to take a repair or something, as as Rivette and Barry are side by side, and I think Alex has got the move done on Mick. So back to the front and this fight for second places. We are 8 minutes and a bit into this first race of the night.
Yep, absolutely. As Carl Hardy's right behind on the Maxwell. Maxwell again, he's got a run. He's going to try and go on the outside. Can he? Nope. Looks like Maxwell's held that position, but contact between the two.
Little bit of contact there, and this creates a bit of a gap between the two of them. And just as we move the camera, I think that Alex Rivette has had an issue, so he remakes the move on Mick Barry, then comes on the start-finish line. Sorry, apologies, he comes towards the start. Oh, he goes around. And that's it for him. He towed back to the pit, so not the race one he was hoping for. But he has 2 more to redeem himself later tonight. Race 2 and race 3, but he won't be eligible for the reverse grid.
Absolutely. Yeah, just looking at this battle for P7 between Anthony Ainsworth, Dan Blake, and right behind them is Steve Hansford, it looks like. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see what Anthony does. Will he let Dan Blake go with him being him being a pro driver, or will Dan Blake try and stay? Oh, is they both run wide? Or Dan Blake runs wide, sorry. Oh, Ainsworth sideways.
Here comes the police car of Steve Hansford, as he is looking to make a move on the pro driver Dan Blake, who passed him a couple of laps ago, and now, of course, pro drivers are pro for a reason, as I think Anthony Ainsworth is struggling a bit with his, with his lines and braking points at this point, because he's a little bit all over the shop, and I don't think that Dan wants to. Oh, he's wide.
That's going to give Hansford the chance to go up the inside and gain a position. Also, I have to say, I do like that police skin from Steve Hansford. It's I do like it. It's always, for some reason, I've always wanted to be handcuffed by a policeman, but that's another story for another time.
Scott Malcolm and Ainsworth, as Ainsworth is really struggling now, losing another position, as Dale Benison is into the grass and out of it now, only in front of Mick Barry and Ben Sharp, as I think Russell Davies had an issue.
Yeah, I was just about to say, it looks like, I'm not sure what happened to Russell Davis. Maybe a spin perhaps, or as we just look at, is it? Yeah, he just went on the curb and it just. Oh.
So Russell, towed back to the pits basically just before the start of the race. Maybe he needed to get an adjustment on the setup. He was caught out and basically had to start from the pits. So his race was, in a tough position to begin with. and now, so he was far behind the rest of the pack, and now, sadly for him, I think into the fence there, and he will try to get a fast repair and out, but he has to wait the tow time, so I don't know if he will be able to stay, one lap down. It's going to be a tough call, as Maxwell and Hardy 0.5 of a second away from each other, as
absolutely.
Max Wright and Ralph Cullinan. Oh, we haven't talked about Ralph. A very consistent driver, always there,
Oh, someone's off in the background who looked like a... Not sure that was in the background. It looked like Charles Kellyman, but Max Wright and Ralph Cullinan going at it at the moment. But going at it at the moment for a fourth position. Yeah, I was about to say I haven't seen Max Wright racing in the MX5 for quite some time. Not in the Monday Cup anyway. But I think not sure if he still races in the Tuesday series. But yeah, at the moment, James Eaglestone up at the front is away and clear, and it's got a massive gap to everyone behind him. So I think as it stands, it will just be a case of Eaglestone getting it to the finish.
Exactly, we are lapping in the 136, 137, so Eaglestone, I think, will have to do this lap that's starting right now and one more, if my calculations are correct. Meantime, Scott Malcolm and Steve Hansford are fighting it out for P8. But let's go back to the... Sorry about the quick cuts, but let's go back to the top... the second and third step of the provisional podium and see if Hardy can get a run here.
Yeah, I was about to say Cal Hardy's got a terrific run heading down into turn one, but it just seems to be Andy Maxwell can hold that, can defend that inside line so well, and just as Cal Hardy's kind of alongside him, can Cal Hardy keep it on the outside to make it the inside line for the next corner? And it looks like Cal Hardy's up the inside. Can he get the position? Can he get the move done up the inside, up into second place? Job done, or move done by Cal Hardy.
Very nice move, fantastic stuff there, and that's P2 for the resort loading driver, as I noticed something earlier and I forgot about it, so I will tell you about it when you go in front of something I really noticed. Oh, here we go, yeah. You know, this is an old scan, one of the older tracks in iRacing, when you have a Volkswagen clean diesel advert on the racetrack.
Hashtag Dieselgate.
Yeah, exactly. So you know this is an old scan because, and also because it still has the octree, which I don't think we are passing in front in this particular configuration of the racetrack. That was, the trademark feature of this racetrack. But sadly, as after a storm, it was destroyed. So no more octree. But still, white flag in the air for James Eaglestone. He just started his 10th lap of the race, apologies, and he's looking good for the race win. Carl Hardy looking good for second place, pulling away from Maxwell. And Cullinan is in 5th place. He was passed by Max Wright eventually, and I think also Scott Malcolm had the best of Steve Hansford. These two were battling here, and I think maybe Steve made a mistake.
As Malcolm's got the run in Hansford. I don't know if Hansford has got a slowdown or not, but Malcolm's closed right up in Hansford like really quickly. So yeah, Malcolm takes the place from Steve Hansford up into 8th place.
So final lap of the race. You can see the drivers are trying to bring the car home and concentrate on race 2. Here's our race leader, James Eaglestone. He lost his teammate basically straight away, Ben Sharp. So I thought he might have been, in a precarious position, because, it's nice to have the help of your teammates when you are fighting hard in these MX5 races. But he was able to absolutely have a fantastic run, Ryan.
Absolutely, as James Eaglestone comes across the line and takes the win in race 1. Yeah, Carl Hardy will come across the line in second, and Andy Maxwell will round out the podium in third place. And
think
then
a, yeah, I think a bomb went off on the front stretch because you can see the cloud of smoke all of a sudden.
yeah, I was about to say it's a bit smoky.
Yeah. Here comes Cullinan, Kellyman in 6th. I think Malcolm will finish in 8th. Let's see if we can get a glimpse of... Yeah, there is, I think, an engine blew in the pit lane because there's a...
Ah,
Yeah, I think. Was that Mick Barry? Oh, yes.
oh, it's Mick. I wonder what happened to Mick. As yeah, Ainsworth comes across the line in 10th, and then
So here's Mick Barry. We will know what happened to him straight away. So he went a bit wide, and then I think he clipped very hard there. He towed back to the pits, and... Oh no, he continued. Apologies. And then he said, maybe that's enough, let's see it once again. Tried to get it back, and then said no. And then basically they towed the car back to the pit, so kudos to the marshals who towed the car back on the pit still with the engine smoking. So they really did their best, but for Mick, that was the end of the run in race 1. Like I said earlier, a couple more left, so everyone can redeem himself. But let's go, Ryan, through the final results for this first race then.
absolutely, the results should be up on your screen at any moment. So yeah, James Eaglestone takes the win in race 1. Carl Hardy in second. Andy Maxwell rounds out the podium in third. Max Wright finishes in fourth. Rob Cullinan finishes in fifth. Charles Kelman finishes sixth. Dan Blake finishes seventh. Scott Malcolm finishes in eighth. Steve Hansford finishes in ninth. Anthony Ainsworth finishes in 10th. Dale Bennison in 11th place. Graham Sessford in 12th. Ben Sharp in 13th. Yeah, and I think the rest of the field was either a few laps down or unfortunately had to retire from the race or got damaged.
Yeah, and Mick Barry went 2 laps down in the end, so he won't be eligible for the reverse, neither will be Russell Davies and Alex Rivette. So we have 13 cars eligible for the reverse, and here we go with the reverse wheel. So as per usual, as per every night of the MX5 series on Monday, we remind you that each number equals to the number of cars that will be reversed, with -1 being all the cars eligible for the reverse -1. -2, -3, -4 will be a full reverse. Let's roll it then. It's going to be a small one, Ryan. 8 cars will be reversed for race 2, which means it is Scott Malcolm on pole position. Kellyman, Cullinan, Maxwell, and Hardy are the top 5 amateur drivers. That will start with Blake and Wright being pros. They will not count for the reverse. So interesting decision. Interesting reverse. And a lot of work to do for some very quick drivers like Ainsworth, Bennison, Sessford, Sharp, Barry, Rivette, Davis, because despite this being a small field by MX5 standards, of course, BSR MX5 standards, it's a very very small reverse for the second race.
Yep, absolutely. As Malcolm says, Marco says, sorry, Scott Malcolm will be in pole position for race 2, but me and Marco is going to go for a quick reversal break, but we will be back in a few moments' time for the second race of the evening here on Apex Racing TV, so don't go anywhere.
growing up as a kid in Oklahoma, where I'm from, the Chili Bowl is the biggest race that we have. The Chili Bowl has kind of been my favorite race of the year. Growing up a dirt racer in Oklahoma, that's kind of the holy grail.
Hello everyone and welcome back to Apex Racing TV. You join us here at VIR for the second race of the evening, and I have to say, Mark, with that, the first race of the evening was absolutely mayhem in the middle of it.
It was absolutely fantastic, and as you can see, we are getting set for the second race of the night. The starting grid is on your screen.
Yep, so Scott Malcolm takes pole position for the second race of the evening. Originally in second place was Dan Blake, but he has to start from the pits because of being a pro driver, so second place technically goes to Charles Kellerman. Fourth is Ralph Cullinan, fifth place is Andy Maxwell, sixth place is Carl Hardy, seventh place is James Eaglestone, Steve Hansford in eighth, ninth place is Andy Ainsworth, 10th place is Dale Benison, Graham Sesford in 11th, 12th place Ben Sharp, 13th Mick Barry and rounding out the grid, and 14th is Russell Davis. As I just wait for the lights to go out for the second race of the evening, and we should be underway as the lights out and away we go. As Scott Malcolm gets a great start off the line, but Scott Malcolm misses a shift. So yeah, Charles Kellerman has to avoid him, and yeah, it looks like Andy Maxwell was going to take the lead into turn 1, but Charles Kellerman is on the outside heading into turn 1. So yeah, Andy Maxwell into the lead.
And the race 1 winner is in big trouble. James Eaglestone in the grass, and he is basically last of the amateur cars.
Absolutely, yeah, that was a absolutely.
Oh, everyone going wide. And the pole sitter is around, and he gets collected by, I think, Graham Sesford there. Very, very unlucky turn of events for the two guys, Malcolm and Sesford. So Maxwell, Cullinan, Kellyman, Hardy, and Ansford, your top 5, even though Ben Sharp is really putting some pressure on the police car.
Yep, just looking at the Hansford and Ben Sharp, it looks like Sharp is trying to make a move up the inside, but yeah, Sharp thinks better of it, and Hansford keeps in place. But yeah, absolutely disastrous first lap for Scott Malcolm after getting the pole position for race 2. But yeah, it just looked like Scott Malcolm when he went off the line, he missed a shift, and unfortunately it caught Charles Kellerman out, and it resulted in a bit of contact. But at the moment, at the front, it's Andy Maxwell leading from Ralph Cullinan, with Charles Kellerman third, and fourth place is Carl Hardy.
I would love to go to a replay, but right now I don't think we can afford to go there. As Ansford goes wide, and he loses the position then to Ben Sharp, who moves up to 5th. Good save there, because he could have lost a lot more than just one place. And maybe Cullinan going for the lead on the outside.
Yeah, Cullinan's trying to go for the lead on the outside into turn 1. Can he get it done? He's just about got it done, but Andy Maxwell back up the inside and regains the position. And yeah, Andy Maxwell back to the lead.
Yeah, so fantastic stuff. We have 5 guys basically in the hunt for the race lead. As Ansford is losing a bit of momentum after that mistake, but Maxwell, Cullinan, Kellyman, Hardy, and now also Ben Sharp, because he is basically tagged onto this train as well, are all within, with a shot for the race win, and this is absolutely fantastic racing here at VIR.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, this looks like these heavy cars in this pack is one, 2, 3, 4. Looks like a five car train, Marco, and it's managed to break away from the cars behind them. And it looks like it's Maxwell, Cullinan, Kellerman, Hardy, and Ben Sharp. Yeah, these cars are slowly breaking away from the rest of the pack, and I think this could be a fantastic one for the race in the race 2, race 2 in the second race of the evening.
I'm seeing some damage on the front of Charles Kellyman car, as you can see. Maybe when they come to a braking area, because I see that the bonnet of the car is a little bit, seems like not in the best of shapes. But as long as he stays in the draft, I think he will be okay. As they complete the second lap, start the third. Let's get that battle box up, so you can see there. You can basically throw a blanket over these 5 guys. And they are so close. What a move on the outside there from Ben Sharp. Can he keep it on the track? He can, but I think he has Hardy with a better line through there. I think we have a problem here. Mick Barry and Russell Davies.
Yeah, what on earth happened there? If they get a chance, it might be worth looking at a replay to see what happened between Mick Barry and Russell Davies. But back up at the front is Ben Sharp getting a bit sideways, but under attack from Carl Hardy behind him. But this is a absolutely fantastic racing, Marco, in this second race so far.
Yeah, blame these guys, because of them we cannot go to a replay of the start and of that contact between Barry and Davies. Look at Cullinan there using an alternative line, and I think he's super close there to the back of Maxwell now.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks like Cullinan looks a bit eager. Cullinan looks a bit eager to try and get by Andy Maxwell, but I have to say, Marco, Andy Maxwell is putting up an absolutely fantastic defensive drive at the moment, managing to hold on to his lead with these other cars behind him.
Absolutely. Not easy to drive with these, 4 cars behind you, all putting pressure on you, all trying to make a move. Good run from Ben Sharp. I think he could go and take a shot at the 3rd spot of Charles Kellyman.
Yep, he's got the run in Kellerman. He's going to try and go on the outside possibly. But Cullinan's trying to go on the outside of Andy Maxwell in front of these guys as well. Ben Sharp. Oh, I was about to say Ben Sharp. It looked like he got the move done on the outside, possibly. Can he get it done? He's on the inside for the next corner. Ben Sharp's up the inside of Kellerman. Can he get up the inside and get the move done? Yes, he can. Up into third place for Ben Sharp.
So new leader, new driver in third place. Cullinan, Maxwell, Sharp, Kellyman, Hardy, your top 5 here at VAR. I keep saying VAR, of course it's VIR, but it's tough being a football fan and a racing fan, you know, having a race at this track. But yeah, Virginia International Raceway is where we are at. North configuration of the racetrack, race 2 out of 3 of the MX5 Monday Cup. 3 15-minute races, and Ralph Cullinan looking to pull away from Maxwell, Sharp, Kellyman and Hardy, second through fifth, apologies, and of course Cullinan just took the lead away from Maxwell in this lap, in this fourth lap, so he will try to pull away, but not easy, even though there are not many straights on this racetrack, so you know, you can get away from the draft as Sharp, using the only straight on the racetrack basically, trying to make a move on Maxwell.
Yeah, I was about to say he's making a move on Maxwell for second place, and it looks like he might be able to get up the inside and get the move done for second place as they head up into turn 1. And it looks like Sharp is up the inside, and he's managed to get bit of contact behind between Maxwell and Kellerman, but yeah, Ben Sharp up the inside of Maxwell and up into second place. So it'll be interesting to see if Ben Sharp can try and catch Ralph Cullinan and try and take the lead.
Remember, Ben Sharp was more than in the race for the race win. In race 1, he was sitting in second place, but then a mistake, hitting a curb too hard, had him spin and hit the wall, but he kept on going, and he was able to get the car repaired and finish on the lead lap, and that meant that he was able to get the reverse, and look at that, he closed in on Cullinan in an instant. So I think Cullinan will have to look in his mirror. We look from the rear bumper of his result clothing white and orange MX5, as we look at the front of the beautiful as well Fury Sim Sport car. Brake very, very hard.
These guys come through the twisty section or the final few corners, these twisty corners, and if Ben Sharp can try and get a great run off the final corner, he might be able to get a run on Ralph Cullinan, but it looks like Cullinan's got the better exit at the moment.
He does. Very good run. I think Hardy has a run on Kellyman. Remember, Kellyman sporting some damage on the front of his car, as on the outside once again is Ben Sharp. Is liking that move, a little bit of door banging, as they are once again, Ryan, they are very, very tightly bunched. By the way, fastest lap of the race, James Eaglestone. Oh, Kellyman and Hardy. I think there was a bit of argy-bargy between the two of them.
As Kellerman's a bit wide. Oh, and he just missed Carl Hardy, but yeah, Kellerman heavily lost that position to Hardy, but
look who's there.
Yeah, look who's there. James Eaglestone is catching this pack slowly.
Race 1 winner who went for a ride into the daisies at the very first corner of race 2, but nonetheless he is about to catch back to this lead pack. Of course, part of it is sheer pace from James, and part of it is the great fighting that these guys are having. Now they are a little bit apart, bit more apart than they were earlier due to the a bit of argy-bargy that they had earlier in the beginning portion of this lap. So Cullinan, Sharp, Maxwell. Basically, Maxwell is in the middle of then the other battle, which right now is Carl Hardy and Charles Kellyman, and the Fury Sim Sport car number 7 of James Eaglestone is there, as we might have another attempt from Sharp on the outside.
Yeah, Ben Sharp is trying. Oh, is it? I thought there was going to be a bit of contact or door banging, but looks like Ben Sharp is. It looks like Ben Sharp is quicker than the Cullen and Marco, but he just the Eagle the Eagle Stone. I mean, Ben Sharp can't seem to be able to get a move done.
Yeah, Eagleson, by the way, fastest lap of the race once again. He's lapping 1 second faster than the guys at the front of the field, and the gap between first position and sixth position is, drumroll please, 3.3 seconds. So he might catch the back end of this pack by the end of the race.
Absolutely, just looking back up at the front of this pack as well, and Cullinan is under attack from Ben Sharp, but right behind them, Andy Maxwell is managing to keep up with these two guys in front. And just looking at Hardy and Kellerman, and Eagleson, it looks like the top three cars have managed to kind of break away a little bit, Marco, and just build up a little bit of a gap.
Yeah, we have two 3-car packs right now. First one is Cullinan, Sharp, and Maxwell. Then we have Hardy, Kellyman, and Eagleston. So it seems like maybe the race win will be an affair between. Sorry, that was Italian English. It would be a matter between Cullinan, Sharp, and Maxwell, but who knows, because anything can happen. And now, once again, Eagleson 36.2. I think he likes this track because he's lapping faster than the pro driver Dan Blake. Oh, look at the move from Ben Sharp.
Ben Sharp manages to get the cut back, and he'll be on the outside for this corner though. But if he can keep it on the outside, he might be able to be on the inside for the next corner. It's going to be tight.
Oh, some contact there, Cullinan. Oh, oh man!
Sideways.
And here comes Maxwell.
Oh, that was a very. I have to say, Marco, that was a very nice. That was a very. How can I say? That was a absolutely brilliant move by Andy Maxwell. He's seen the chance opening up to make a move, and he went for it.
And they are once again tightly bunched. Everyone. The only one that seems to be able to run away now is Cullinan, because he was not involved in that chaotic moment we just had. But yeah, we have 6 cars all bunched up together. Let's see when Cullinan takes the... no, yes, they will have 2 laps more. So when they start the next lap, or maybe not, let's see. Maybe I jumped the gun a bit too early. Let's see when Cullinan takes, crosses the start-finish line for lap 9. Because I think... Yes, we get 2 more laps of this fantastic racing. I'm so happy about this. And let's see who comes out on top, who gets on the podium, and who gets the short end of the stick in this fantastic race 2 here at VIR. Absolutely amazing race.
Yep, as Ralph Collins managed to break away a little bit, but Maxwell's ran wide, and this gave Ben Sharp a chance to try. What was it?
Sharp tried to go on the inside of Maxwell there, didn't work, despite Maxwell making a bit of a mistake. But Maxwell is able to keep second place. Hardy, Kellyman, Eagleson, I don't know if he's just happy to be here, doesn't want to make another mistake, wants to get the points in the bag, the championship leader getting into this round. As Maxwell goes on the inside of Cullinan.
I thought there was going to be contact there, but yeah, he manages to hold Maxwell off. And yeah, I think at the end of this lap, Marco will have the next lap will be the next lap will be the last lap.
I think it will. Oh!
Oh!
And that's it for Andy Maxwell. And I don't know how they managed to all avoid him.
I'm not even
that could have taken away everyone behind him. They all avoided him. This creates a fracture. Oh, Ben Sharp. Ben Sharp in the daisies once again, as he had done in race 1. Hardy goes to second. Eagleson is in third. And Kellyman is in fourth. Disaster for Ben Sharp and Andy Maxwell.
Yeah, absolutely. It just seems to... Yeah. yeah, kind of sad for Maxwell and Sharp. They were having a good race, but it gave Colin a chance to just run away with this race.
I mean, we are out of breath and we are not even racing like you were saying a few moments ago. It's so exciting. And there is the small matter of the podium. Oh! Sharp and Kellyman resorting to, little bit of fisticuffs in order to get their spots. But the only thing they gain with this is to lose contact maybe with Eagleson and Hardy, so it will be between these two to decide who gets second and third. This has been a crazy race, so I wouldn't take anything for granted, as seems like Eagleson has a nice run on Hardy and Ben Sharp is back once again, maybe trying to push his teammate through to get both of them past Carl Hardy.
Yep, you're on the last lap, and it looks like Colin is going to come across the line and take the win in race 2. But yeah, still got the final podium positions to sort out between Hardy, Eaglestone, Sharp, and Kellerman. But yeah, coming round the final.
And here we go, Kalidan, your race winner for race 2. Who is going to get second and third? It's Hardy in front of Eaglestone. Ben Sharp and Charles Kellyman round up your top 5. Dan Blake, the pro driver, 6th. And Steve Hansford in 7th. Big disappointment for Andy Maxwell in P8. But he fought hard once again, and sometimes when you fight hard, you tend to, get into trouble. It's the name of the game. Pendleton, Malcolm, Ainsworth, Mick Barry, and Graham Sesford will round up your final results for race 2. Absolutely unbelievable race, Ryan.
Yeah, absolutely. That was mayhem in race 2. So yeah, if Colin takes one in race 2 after everyone was getting caught up in issues, but Cullinan takes the one, Hardy in second, Eaglestone in third, Sharp fourth, Kellerman fifth, Blake in sixth, Hansford seventh, Maxwell eighth, Bennison ninth, and Malcolm 10th, 11th, Ainsworth, Barry in 12th, Sesford in 13th, and Russell Davis retired.
And yes, as we get a slow motion for our race winner, we see that we have once again 13 drivers eligible for the reverse grid, and that should be on your screen right now. So let's roll it. Wow, I hope these guys had fun fighting it out for the race win, because there will be only 6 cars in the reverse for race 3. So it will be still Kalidan, Hardy, Eagleson, Sharp, Kellyman. Dan Blake will, not be, will start from the pits. So basically, Ryan, we might have, a repeat of race 2, because the main protagonist will still be there. Maxwell, who also was fantastic in the second race, will start in 8th place, or will be technically 7th. So he still has a very nice shot of getting once again in the fight for the win. So 2 very small reverses, and the opportunity for these drivers at the front of the field to get some big points.
Yep, absolutely. So I'll say it again. So the final race of the evening will be up in a few moments' time. But yeah, we're going to go for a commercial break right now. So don't forget to come back and watch the final race of the evening in a few moments' time.
Growing up as a kid in Oklahoma, where I'm from, the Chili Bowl is the biggest race that we have. The Chili Bowl has kind of been my favorite race of the year. Growing up a dirt racer in Oklahoma, that's kind of the holy grail.
Hello everyone and welcome back to Apex Racing TV, and you join us here for the final race of the evening here in the BSR MX5 Cup at Virginia International Raceway. And yeah, unfortunately I missed the reverse grid wheel, Marco, and get any idea who got the reverse grid pole for the third race of the evening?
Yeah, we got Charles Kellyman starting in first, Ben Sharp, James Eagleston, Carl Hardy and Ralph Cullinan. Then Steve Hansford, Andy Maxwell, Dial Bennison, Scott Malcolm, Anthony Ainsworth, Mick Barry in P12. And then we have Graham Sesford and Russell Davis with Dan Blake, starting from the pits. So all set, the traditional evening race to end the proceedings, Ryan. I think it's going to be a very, very good one.
Yep, absolutely. So the lights to go out for the final race of the evening, and yeah, as Marco says, Charles Kellerman's on pole position, and they'll be interested to see if he can get a good start off the line. He can get a good start off the line, but Ben Sharp gets a great start off the line as well. Just behind them is James Eaglestone for Fury Simsport, and it looks like Kellerman and Ben Sharp are going to go at it and heading up into turn one. And I'll be interested to see if Kellerman can keep the lead into turn one. He's on the outside, but Ben Sharp's on the inside. And yeah, it looks like everyone's made it through without any issues. Charles Kellerman up the inside into turn two. Kellerman's the leader on lap one.
But he's a bit wide, so run from Ben Sharp on the inside. Can he take the lead? Oh man, they are side by side, but Kellyman with a better run into the secondary part of the corner can keep the lead. So it's Kellyman from Sharp, Eaglestone, Hardy and Cullinan to start the proceedings in the third and final race of the day. We haven't lost any car so far in this first lap.
Yep, absolutely. As Ben Sharp's up the inside of Charles Kellerman, he's challenging for the lead, but Kelman's not giving up without a fight, and yeah, just behind these guys is James Eaglestone and Carl Hardy, and yeah, it looks like yeah, everyone so far has managed to make it round or make it so far on make it round on lap 1 so far without any issues, Marco.
Some fantastic racing, nice defending from Kellyman, absolutely not giving up on the race lead, even though I think Sharp is a bit quicker now on the inside. Oh, that was a brave move from Sharp, and he gets the lead. Kellyman bouncing hard on the curb, almost throwing his MX5 on 2 wheels. And I think now he's under pressure from James Eaglestone as well.
Yeah. Yeah, James Eaglestone's trying to make a move for second on the outside, and yeah, James Eaglestone might get 2 positions in 1 lap. So yeah, it looks like James Eaglestone's managed to gain 2 positions.
Beautiful stuff. He's in the lead. Oh, and now around goes Kellyman. I think he got tagged by Ralph Cullinan there, and for poor Charles Kellyman, he's back to the drawing board. He's basically now in penultimate place, only Russell Davies behind him. Let's get a replay of that. From the chopper, I think you can see the white and orange car of Ralph Cullinan, race to winner. They should make contact. Yes, they make contact here, and he's around.
Yeah, it just looks like Cullinan might have outbraked himself a little bit and just tagged the rear of Kellerman, but luckily Kellerman's still managing to keep going. So yeah, back up at the front. It's Eaglestone, Sharp, Cullinan, Hardy, Steve Hansworth, Andy Maxwell rounding at the top 6, and yeah, Ryder on board with Maxwell at the moment, who was having a great race in race 2, but unfortunately ended up having some issues unfortunately after having a good race.
Another lap in the books then. Let's see if he can get a move done on the police car, who has a nice train behind you. That's usually what happens here in Italy when there's a police car on the highway. No one passes the police car. We all become honest citizens. Oh, now the police car with his elbows out. Ainsworth gets past Maxwell for good measure, so with a little bit of an assist from Hansford, Ainsworth gets the move down on Maxwell, who has not had the best of lucks tonight, especially in race 2 and race 3. Benson and Sesford are behind him. Seems like at the front Eagleson is trying to pull away from his teammate Ben Sharp, as this beautiful sunset with a lot of clouds, but beautiful sunset nonetheless, here over the Virginia International Raceway North track. As we move back to the front, see the 2 Fury Sim Sport boys moving away from the 2 Resort Clothing boys. So it's Fury Sim Sport, Resort Clothing, and the Privateer, Steve Hansford.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks like the rest of the field is the top 4 cars in front. The top 4 cars in front of this pack have managed to pull away. But yeah, so it looks like this pack at the moment, this second pack is battling for P5 of Hansford, Ainsworth, Maxwell, Benison, and Sesford. It looks like, but Hansford runs wide a little bit, and it gives Anthony Ainsworth a little bit of a hip and shoulder move from Ainsworth to take P5.
Yes, that was a very nice opportunistic move from Ainsworth. Also, we see Maxwell under attack from Benison and Sesford, the 2 Year 1 drivers. As there at the front, you see Hansford using all the slipstream he could use from...
that's just for Hansford.
Did he get a slowdown? Because he really slowed down a lot there. I don't know what's going on. He's still dropping positions. Now he sends Scott Malcolm for a ride into the grass. So Hansford trying to sort himself out. Sorry, but yeah, down to P11 right now. So lost a lot of positions there. And we move back to the front of the field now. Eagleston and Sharp, Cullinan and Hardy, your top 4. Ainsworth now your 5th place driver, so Fury Simsport first, second and 5th spot on the grid. We are trying to get Ryan back with us.
Sorry about that. Yeah, Discord's playing up for me a little bit, so yeah, apologies if I cut out.
Don't worry, Discord is Discording as per every Monday night. As for Dan Kellyman, the 2 privateers in the race today, together with Russell Davies, are fighting it out for now. What's P11? Ansford trying to get back on in a groove after dropping several positions all of a sudden at the beginning of the previous lap. Honestly, I have no idea what happened to him because it didn't seem to cut any corner, so not a slowdown. Maybe he got some hardware issues. That's unfortunate. You see it now is once again losing grounds compared to Kellyman there. So unlucky for Steve there, as I think Mick Barry also having some issues. But to the front, well, to the mid pack, I should say. Maxwell, Bennison and Sesford, especially the 2 year 1 drivers, might go for a move on each other. Maybe Sesford is a bit quicker than Bennison, even though they are lapping quite similarly. So who knows what they have in mind. And at the front, it's still the same 1-2 punch for Fury Simsport then.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, it's been a excuse me, it's been a pretty good evening for the Fury Simsport guys so far. It'll be good to see them round it off and they round it off in race 3 with another good result. And yeah, I would, even though there's still several rounds to go, Marco, I would probably say if I was to pick a favourite for the championship, the driver and the team championships, I would probably say Fury Simsport and one of their drivers are got to be favourites as it stands.
Yes, James Eagleston, of course, started the day as the championship leader. He won race 1. He is first in race 3. And but I think more importantly, he was absolutely brilliant in the second race, where he had basically an issue at the very first corner. Had to start from the back of the field, and he came back to get on the podium. So that was an absolutely amazing drive, and if things remain this way, I think he will leave Virginia International Raceway with a nice bag of points, especially because Andy Maxwell is struggling, especially in race 2 and race 3, with not being able to crack the top 5 so far. Race 2 we know because of his issue. Race 3 is in this big fight now and trying to get past Anthony Ainsworth, who's James's teammate, so he might try to help him. And we have a little bit more than 5 minutes left in this one. Situation still the same, even though it seems that Hardy and Cullinan might swap positions soon.
Yeah, it looks like Hardy's under attack from Ralph Cullinan, and it looks like there's no team orders. So yeah, it looks like both these drivers are free to race.
So race 2 winner Ralph Cullinan gets in front of his teammate, and now he has a little bit less than 5 minutes to go and try to grab the 2 guys there at the front, as Ainsworth, Sesford, Blake, Maxwell having a bit of an argument over P5. Seems like Maxwell is dropping some positions now, down to P8.
Yep. Ooh. Yeah, I thought there was going to be issues there between the 2 drivers, but yeah, it looks like everyone so far has been sensible in this race and is right on board with the Ainsworth. From just behind him is Dan Blake. So yeah, it's been a bit of a probably a bit of a quiet evening for the Year 1 racing cars, Marco. Probably. Ooh!
Oh, that's
Oh,
Graham
someone's in the
Sesford.
barrier.
Graham Sesford for Year 1 Racing. He's in the wall. It is very unlucky for him. I think... isn't that at the beginning of pit road? He's trying to sort himself out. Let's
Yeah,
get a replay of that.
yeah, it just looks like, as I look at the replay, it just looks like Sesford might have just gotten the power too early, or just maybe put too much power down. You know, he just gets. Ooh, that was a hard hit.
You know, bit of a... You know, that was the other pit lane, of course. Apologies for that. But yeah, that was a bit of a, you know, big deceleration. You know, like they say, speed has never killed anyone. It's suddenly getting stationary that gets you. And that was... oh, Ralph Cullinan!
Ooh.
Off! And out of the podium.
Yeah, I was about to say Colin had just had issues, but I wasn't sure what happened. But yeah, it looks like he just got sideways and just had to run wide a little bit. Yeah, just looking at what happened, and yeah, it looks like he just caught the grass with his right rear wheel and just got sideways. But yeah, he's luckily still going.
Not the only one with problems. Anthony Ainsworth having issues as well.
Ooh!
Oh, hit by his teammate Dan Blake.
Yeah, got hit by his teammate Dan Blake, and I think I'm not sure if Blake was waiting for him to give the position back, but if he did, then it's a good sportsmanship. But as we look back through the field, look back up at the leader, James Eaglestone, currently leading the race, I should say, by about 1.8 seconds.
So lap 9 starting right now, so we have 2 more laps, this one and one more for the race leader, James Eaglestone. So we are more or less keeping the same pace we've had for the first two races, with you know, lap 9 starting with around 2 minutes left, more or less in the race. Ainsworth trying to get past Ansford, but not being able to do so. At the same time, I think Hardy trying to maybe give back the position to Kalyan, I don't know, because all of a sudden Kalyan is already once again in the back, on the back of his teammate.
Yeah, he's caught Carl Hardy up pretty quickly. Considering that Carl Hardy had a reasonable gap to Colin in, I wonder if Carl Hardy slowed down a little bit and just slowed down a little bit and fancies making a race of it with Ralph Cullinan for the final step on the podium.
So Cullinan back there on the podium with a little bit of an issue. He's able to save the car and back in third spot, as we have some nice battles all over the field. Kellyman and Malcolm.
There's yes, Malcolm and Kellyman are going at it for P8. Excuse me. These guys going at it for P8 in the final couple of places in the top 10, and yeah, I think James Eaglestone's just crossed the line, so I believe possibly we could be on the final lap. Not the final lap. We've got the next lap will be the final lap.
No, we are on the final lap. White flag is in the air, so this will be the final lap of the race as they cross the start-finish line. James Eaglestone and the rest of the top 4 are already on the final lap, so seems like another successful run from James Eaglestone, and once again it's relatively easy to get the result when you are in first, but it's another, all the other story when you have to come back from a mistake in the very first corner, and you are able to do so with a fantastic podium finish in the second race for James Eaglestone, and he will leave VIR with some very, very nice points to take away Maxwell, limiting the damage in race 3 by, sitting in P5. Even though I think that Blake might pass him very soon. This could be important because it will be 1 extra point gained by Eaglestone thanks to his teammate, and you can see Blake trying to get past Maxwell any way he can.
Ooh. Yeah, Dan Blake got a brilliant run on the exit of the corner there, and he's trying to go side by side through this twisty section. But yeah, as James Eaglestone comes across the line to take the win in the final race of the evening here in race 3, Ben Sharp will round out the Fury Simsport 1-2 with a second place, and taking the final podium position will be Ralph Cullinan, with Carl Hardy coming across the line in 4th. And then, yeah, it looks like Dan Blake will round out the top 5, and then Andy Maxwell will finish in 6th. But yeah, just waiting for these cars to come across the line, and I have to say, Marco, yeah, race 2 and race 3 rather, they have been pretty chaotic, but fantastic racing at the same time.
Absolutely amazing. Yes, what a fantastic night of racing. And you know, I am not the biggest fan of this racetrack, but tonight it has started to win me over because that was some very, very nice racing we had, especially race 2 and race 3 were absolutely fantastic, as we can see. Slow motion, well deserved for a race 1 and race 3 winner, James Eaglestone. And speaking of race 3, here come on your screen the final results. No, sorry, not now. Now we will have the final results for race 3.
Yep, so taking the win in the final race of the evening was James Eaglestone. Teammate Ben Sharp finishes in 2nd to make it a Fury Simsport 1-2. Ralph Cullinan finishes in 3rd. Carl Hardy finishes in 4th. Dan Blake finishes in 5th. Andy Maxwell finishes in 6th. 7th place is Dale Benson. Scott Markham finishes in 8th. Charles Kilman finishes in 9th. Steve Hansford finishes in 10th. Russell Davis finishes in 11th. 12th is Anthony Ainsworth. Mick Barry finishes in 13th. And finishing, I believe, or I'm not sure if he finished or not, but if according to the results, finishing 1 lap down was Graham Sessford in 14th.
Yes, I think he went back on the racetrack after taking a faster pair, so he finishes 1 lap down and gets some points for his troubles. But yeah, the race winner James Eaglestone absolutely well deserved, and the real driver of the day, I would say. So let's see if we have some interviews. So far we don't, but at the same time, let me remind you the what's coming up on Apex Racing TV, Ryan, because tonight we have Rikmotech, so don't miss it at 1 a.m. 1 a.m. British summertime BST. We have tomorrow at 10:45 GMT in the morning. We have the IMSA Oceanic Strength of Field race. Then in the evening we have at 18 GMT the VRS GT Sprint Series, and then we have at 18. Wow, I'm getting confused. 19:15 GMT, the MX5 Tuesday Series. I'm getting confused, and I was very good with time zones when I was younger, but now went over 30, disaster. So on Wednesday we have at 7:15 GMT, 7 GMT, apologies, Sim Racers World, and that will be, of course, live from Interlagos. On Thursday at 19:15 GMT, BSRTC is back live from this particular location, and then on Saturday we will race in Ulton Park for the Euro V8s that will start at 18 GMT. And of course, don't forget at 12 GMT on Saturday as well, Sim Racers for Asia will be back with another round of that championship. And yes, that will be from Indianapolis. So, Ryan, no drivers coming for interviews, which is a shame. Oh no, sorry about that. We have one apparently, Ryan. We have Graham Sessford for us in the interview room.
Yeah,
no, it disappeared. Oh no, wow. I was just about to put him into the room and he disappeared on us. We are a bit sad about this. But yeah, while we wait maybe for Graham to come back, maybe he's signing out some flip-flops to his race fans here in Virginia. What do you think about this particular round. I think the racing was great. And yeah, what about you?
Yeah, I would say it was a fantastic racing this evening. Yeah, maybe not as much cars as we would normally get, or not as much cars as we would get in say the Tuesday series for the MX5. But yeah, still great racing nevertheless, and yeah, yeah, it's actually kind of persuaded me to buy the track in iRacing now and just do some laps around it. It's just the track. The track seems to be one of those technical tracks with some flowing corners as well. So it's kind of yeah, it's a mix of the high speed corners and slow speed corners, and also some twisty and tight corners as well.
And next Monday, we will be in a completely different situation because we will be racing from Belle Isle in the streets of Belle Isle. So we go from a super, we wouldn't say flat, but a very country style setting, then deep into the heart of one of the most industrial cities in the world. And it's not like here where you have all the grass to run away and get back on the track. If you make a mistake there, you pay dearly for it. So, complete change of scenario for these guys next Monday.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm still looking on Discord again, and I can't find anyone waiting for an interview, which is kind of strange because we normally have some drivers popping in for an interview. But yeah, yeah, maybe some of the drivers are acting a bit shy. There's no need to be shy. We don't bite.
Yeah, especially Graham will need to send us flip flops to make up for his sudden disappearance while we were dragging him. I was literally dragging his name into the commentators channel for interviews. But that seems to be the way it goes tonight. So Ryan, I will leave the microphone to you. Oh
Oh,
no, wait a
he's back.
second. He might be back. So let's see if it's really him this time. Hello, Graham.
I'm not shy, lads. I just pressed the wrong button.
Well, Ryan, take it away then.
Yeah, yeah. I have to say, Graham, it looked like how did it look from how did the racing from your perspective look like tonight? It looked like it was a lot of or a bit of mayhem, I should say.
I wasn't very good, and that's it. Plain and simple, I was terrible. But
Yeah,
the track's quite good when you get into a bit of a rhythm, and our guys Andy and Dale seem to plod along and do quite well. So that's all that matters.
yeah. I was about to say it looked like some of the year one guys were having a seemed to have a pretty good evening. Say a good evening as well, and yeah, it was good to see Andy and Dale having a good run tonight, and yeah, yeah. With regards to the championship as well, is there any kind of in a way with the season with several rounds be left remaining in the championship? Is there any team orders or any team orders going on to try and help any of the drivers as much as possible, or the driver that's got the best chance in the championship?
Yeah, we're starting to work together a little bit more, which is good. We could do with a few more of our guys getting on. We miss you, Steve. He's having a little break at the moment, and Alex's internet is terrible, so he keeps on popping up and popping down. But we'd like to put in a good fight for this championship and keep going. The guys who are doing well, Dale just is consistent and finishes and gets points. So yeah, and Carl's on holiday at the moment, enjoying himself.
Yeah, I was about to say as well. Yeah, Mr. Jackalay looked like it looks like he's on holiday enjoying some a few gins, I should say.
Yeah, and rocking my flip flops, so it's quite good.
Yeah, I have to say I was quite a fan of the flip flops. They look pretty cool. But yeah, if I get a chance at one point, I may put in an order and order some myself.
Please do, mate. There's a few discount codes out there, so keep an eye on the cars.
Good stuff. Yeah, you heard that, Marco. Get in there while
Mm-hmm.
you can.
Yeah, absolutely. If you guys watching at home take notice when we are on board with the year one cars, usually on the top right of the screen there's a discount code, and that has been very smartly placed on the inside of the windshield, so you can see, the discount code for your custom made flip flops.
just like to thank you lads as well for your commentary and all the stuff which you're doing. It's really good, and just keep it up.
Cheers, buddy. And before you go, is there anyone that you'd like to give a shout out to? Any thanks or anything like that? Sponsors, friends, family.
I'd like to give a shout out to Steve Cooley. He does a lot of work behind the scenes. I know he's taking a break at the moment, but he's done so much for the team. I know I started it up, but I pretty much give him the reins to do whatever he wants. So, yeah, we'd look forward to having him back.
Good stuff. Well, thanks for joining us, Graham. And will you be racing at Bell Isle next week?
I think I have a wedding, so unfortunately not.
Okay, so
It's a
yeah.
wedding season, so
It's
it's not mine. But yeah, it's I think I'm up in Scotland, so I'll be hopefully driving back down. If I get back in time, I'll race, but if not, then I will be watching.
Oh, what? Hey, just before you go, what part of Scotland?
Bewley, just off
Oh.
Loch Ness, Inverness sort of area.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
If you were closest to me, I would have been up for meeting you.
yeah, lovely. Anytime.
Awesome. So yeah, thanks for popping in, Graham. And if we don't see you next week, we'll see you at the I guess 2 weeks time.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you very much, lads. Take care.
That was excuse me, that was Graham Sess for joining us, and I don't think there's anyone else, Marco. So yeah, if you want to take it away and call it a wrap, then go for it.
Thank you very much, Ryan. Yes, it has been another fantastic night of racing. Of course, if you want to, stay up, or if you live in another part of the world and it's quite early for you, we invite you to keep following us later tonight for Rick Motek. But for now, from myself, for Ryan Walker, and everyone here at Apex Racing TV, we wish you, as per usual, a good night and happy racing.